Go alive. Right. Okay. Let's. Okay. Let's wait for another 1 minute before we start, shall we? So you can also speak. You can also type in the chat. So it doesn't matter. So if you're having any questions, just write down or just speak up. All right. Shall we start now?
Okay.
So first, thank you for everybody joining this session tonight. This is our first time, very first time, to hold such an online session. So before the session starts, I have had a lot of technical setup, which is really a big headache. So now let's just come down again to meditate. So today, for the next 1 hour, let's just purely meditate to focus on the techniques of the meditation to calm down, which can be different from the session we have had on Monday, which is more focused on the philosophical discussion and exploration, which is also a form of meditation, of course. But today, while it's online session, let's just come down to examine our mind, our consciousness. So now I will play a short music, a 3 minutes music. So let's just calm down by listening to the music. During these 3 minutes, let's try our best not think, not react to the music. Just listen. Listen to the sound. To regard everything you have heard as pure sound without any interpretation. And then after these 3 minutes, let's come back and for a simple discussion about meditation. Shall we? Yeah. Okay, let's just play the music as background for a while. You may find that it is not easy to listen to the music. When we try to listen to it, the music, the sound, triggers something, and we have some reaction to it. So sometimes some mental images, thoughts just pop back. We also associate some tunes with some emotions, images, whatever. It's not easy to listen to something without any interpretation. So you see, it's very easy for us to live in life with all kinds of reactions. Reaction to the sound, like the music we just listened to, or the languages we always speak. Now, if you understand something from what I said, it's also because your reaction to what I said. And you begin to interpret it in your own way. Sometimes this kind of interpretation works well. Sometimes they don't. So at this moment, we don't deny the reactions because we are always trapped in the links or in a web of reactions. Sometimes these kind of reactions give us a lot of mental conflicts. So for us to meditate is to notice those reactions in our life at each moment. So when our mind is in a reactionary mood, it's never easy, right, to calm down because we always react to something. There are so many triggers in life. So to meditate means we need to notice deeply the influence of the reactions on us. To notice that because these reactions, we are so easily disturbed. And to find peace and calm, probably we need to handle the reactions. Actually, we are doing that all the time, right? Sometimes we avoid something or somebody just because we don't want to trigger our reaction, which disturbs our mind at that moment. But avoid reaction does not mean that we don't react to it. Sometimes this avoidance can be very expensive, right? Because we need to take a lot of efforts to avoid something or somebody. And this avoidance also consumes a lot of energy because we care about that. We care about that avoidance. We care about that reaction. So to meditate, we need to realize this. To deeply realize this. So to realize that, we need to have a calm mind. Even we are trapped in reactions, we still need to calm it down first. You say it's a chick and egg problem. It's a loop. We need to break it. We need to walk into this loop in whichever way we can. So we are disturbed by reactions. Same time, we need to calm down the mind. So we have the chance to observe the reactions. That's why we meditate. Calm down first. Then we have the chance to observe the mind deeply. So how to meditate? Actually, there are so many different forms across different branches of practice. Yoga, all kinds of the Buddhism traditions. They're all great. And probably there's no fixed form to meditate. If you have your own method and it works on you, just follow it, right? But for most people, breath meditation can be an easy way to calm down the mind, because it's just convenient for almost everybody. Breath as the meditation object. Because breath is almost ignored in the daily life, unless we have a bunged nose when we catch a cold. So because it's ignorance in our daily life, breath can be very neutral. It rarely triggers something from you. For most people, of course, everyone has different situation. So, because breath does not trigger something from us easily, so it's easy for us to focus on it. Because it triggers nothing, it means that we won't be easily distracted by the things it triggers. The second reason we choose breath is that breath is a sensation. It's not a thought. We have such a wonderful habit. Wonderful, right? Really into the thoughts. So obsessed with that. But to meditate, we need to focus on something. It's not about thinking. We need to focus on the sensation to let us be away from thoughts for a while. That's why we choose breath as the meditation object. In yoga, people also do the body stretches to feel the sensation from the body. That's also similar to meditation. And in your life, you can do different ways, right? You read the books. You just walk in the garden or on the road. Look around to use your sensation rather than thoughts to feel this moment. So it's very similar. But here, in this space, let's just meditate. Focus on breath. To feel the sensation, not think or identify with thoughts. Everything is a habit, right? As a human being, if we are not mindful, we are a consequence of all the habits and influences. At least meditation gives us a chance to change our mental habits, which is the key to many of the exterior behaviors. And in meditation, in breath meditation, we train our mind to not get involved in thoughts. At the same time, we begin to have the awareness when we are in thoughts. And during meditation, what we do actually is try our best to focus on the sensation of breath. At some time, to realize, to notice the circle of breath. When I breathe in, notice that I'm breathing in. And when I breathe out, notice that I'm breathing out. So the focus is on the sensation and to be aware of the circle of breath. For any thoughts pop up. For any thoughts that pop up, we just ignore it. Never accept it. Never refuse it. Just let it be. And we just focus on the breath time and time again. That's the breath meditation, basically. I think you have your method, of course. If you find it works on you, just follow it. There's no right or wrong methods. But if you want to follow this one, that's also fine. Probably you need to pick and choose a few ones and decide which one works better on you. So before we start the first meditation in the next 10 minutes, any questions from you guys? If there's no question from you now, shall we do a 10-minute meditation together now? And we can do that. Follow the audio guide. Okay, let's do it now. Perfect. Great. Now, let's take a 10-minute meditation. Start by taking a moment to find a comfortable position to sit in a posture that you feel relaxed and get alert. Let hands rest on your knees or laps. Let the eyes close gently. Soften your forehead. Act a soft smile in the corner of your lips. Breathe naturally. As you breathe in, be aware as you breathe in. Feel the sensation of breathe in. As you breathe out, be aware of breathing out. Feel the sensation of breathing out. Fix your attention on the breath. Let go of any thought. This moment, nothing is more important than breath. Every time you hear the bell, notice where your attention is. If it wasn't on the breath, gently invite your attention back to the breath and try your best to sustain your attention on the breath. Slowly bring your awareness back to the room. Feel into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. So we just have a 10-minute meditation. I hope everybody feel peace come now. Meditation is a way to observe the mind in solitude. During the time of meditation, we cut off all the external influences to notice how the inner world runs in that space and time. In this space, we began to notice how a small or slight disturbance is generated. To notice that our tendency to identify with thoughts. In our daily life, when the thoughts pop up, we immediately interact with that thoughts. And we regard that thoughts as part of the self. Oh yeah, I have to be myself. But actually, thoughts are a consequence of the influences of all kinds of mental habits. If we can't understand how are the thoughts generated, purely just regard thoughts as part of a self is very superficial, is it? It's also very misleading, deceiving. Because thoughts come from neuron. The neuron paths running daily in a very dynamic way. Sometimes neuron pop up, these neuron paths pop up, sometimes disappears. So thoughts also appear, disappear. Identifying with thoughts is not self. It's just a mistake due to the ignorance of the nature of mind. Because we identify with thoughts, we defend it. We think thoughts are part of the self. Oh yeah, I have to be myself. These are my thoughts. And as a consequence, we have created so much division, conflicts, contradictions. Look at the politics across the Western world, in US, in other countries. How divisive it is, right? Because almost everybody is tricked by thoughts, is deceived by thought. unless we calm down deeply first to get through the wall of thoughts, to deeply understand how the thoughts misguide us, mislead us, to understand the how illusions are generated and built up based on thoughts. To notice that how thoughts are used to divide people, all kinds of ideologies, faith, or thinking, whatever. And if everybody thinks in that way, we thought it's a truth. But it's only a collective illusion, which we give a beautiful name, culture, or whatever. To be free from the conflicts arising from all kinds of thoughts between different peoples, or whatever, we need to deeply understand the structure of the mind, to understand the structure of the thoughts. To deeply feel the oneness of the mind. When all the thoughts, illusions is removed, what is left? Isn't it a pure stillness, the silence of the mind? Everybody in that state is silent in an authentic way, right? Not a silence between two thoughts, not a silence between two reactions, no, not that way, but the true silence. In that very silence, we begin to understand what is compassion, what is love, what is the oneness of the mind. To deeply realize how ridiculous it is to be so divisive, to be divided by thoughts, ideologies, faith. We'll be amazed that how far human has gone up to now in their own illusions and thoughts. That very awareness gives us the true peace, the peace of mind, composure, equanimity. However, in our daily life, we are busy. I mean, the mind is busy to give us illusion that we are busy, right? If we are in the thoughts without awareness, it can be very challenging for us to realize the problems of those thoughts. We can suffer from the conflicts, but we don't know how the conflicts are generated. That's why we meditate, like the breath meditation, or in whichever way you want. We need to keep fighting against thoughts, not be into it. You can have thoughts, of course. Without thoughts, we would have died. But thoughts is not everything. If you into the thoughts mentally, without awareness, That's a big issue for everyone, is it? And nowadays, we have the internet. We have received so much conflicted information from different sources. The very receipt of the information triggers a lot of reactions, mental images, thoughts. Combining all the sources, think about how chaotic our mind will be if there's no inner order to regulate those thoughts, the relationship between you and the thoughts. In such an era of internet, our mind is much easier to be overactivated. And it also points out the importance of calming down the mind as a first step to cut off the influence immediately, now. So, by the end of today's session, let's try to meditate again. So I think about the half an hour's talk, you also reflected a lot based on your experience. So did I. Our mind must be busy, which is also beyond our consciousness. So let's calm down again. To stop the thoughts for a while, to give ourselves a break. So, any questions or anything you want to say in this session? You can speak or you can type if you want. It's my first time to have this online session. Today, I was a little panicked because there were so many technical setup, and it's a little overwhelming. But now, I think I feel very peace. I hope so. Yeah. Any questions for this session or any advice for that before we meditate again? Okay, no questions. All right. So if there's no questions from everyone, let's meditate again. Another 10 minutes to end today's session. And I still play the same audio guide, and you and me, though in different locations, but we now share the same time and space. Let's meditate. Now, let's take a 10-minute meditation. Start by taking a moment to find a comfortable position to sit in a posture that you feel relaxed and get alert. Let hands rest on your knees or laps. Let the eyes close gently. Soften your forehead. Act a soft smile in the corner of your lips. Breathe naturally. As you breathe in, be aware as you breathe in. Feel the sensation of breathe in. As you breathe out, be aware of breathing out. Feel the sensation of breathing out. Fix your attention on the breath. Let go of any thought. This moment, nothing is more important than breath. Every time you hear the bell, notice where your attention is. If it wasn't on the breath, gently invite attention back to the breath and try your best to sustain your attention on the breath. Slowly bring your awareness back to the room. Feel into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. Great. So thank you for being here tonight. This is for this very first time of doing the online session. And this session also gave me a lot of experience to improve it next time. And again, it's my pleasure to be here to help to be with everybody to meditate together. I hope everybody has a peaceful and a joyful weekend. Also, hopefully, everybody has a wonderful week next week. Stay peace and calm is the top priority to live a life, right? Okay, thank you for being here tonight, and see you next time. Bye-bye.